Keep walking!
Keep that long. Keep going,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, there's a lot more news pertaining to the Trump assassination and the guy that actually did it. I think some of you know who it is already because of my last video, but I will be doing a little bit of a recap, but not too much because there's a lot of information to go over. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, what we have here is a Trump assassination attempt suspect Ryan Wesley Ruth wrote a book urging Iran to kill the former president. Ryan Wesley Ruth, the man named as a suspect in a possible assassination attempt at Donald Trump's Florida golf club, urged Iran to kill the former president in a book that he self-published last year. In Ukraine, Unwinnable War, he said he had made a terrible mistake and once voting for Trump, whom he described as a buffoon. I must take part of the blame for the retarded child we elected for our next president that ended up being brainless. But I am man enough to say that I misjudged and made a terrible mistake, and Iran, I apologize. He said after berating the former president for abandoning the nuclear deal with Tehran, you are free to assassinate Trump as well as me for that error in judgment and the dismantling of the deal. The ebook is still available on Amazon for $3. Here's the thing. This guy is clearly insane, and we need to find out what's going on here. I think everybody needs to really be concerned on what's going on here, because this guy looks like he was controlled or corrupted by the media. We'll be a bit more on that as well. But what we have here is that he offers a look inside the mind of a man committed to finding peace in the world, but with a naive understanding of geopolitics. His solutions to long-running global conflicts include building a wall around the Afghan capital Kabul and allowing himself to be kidnapped by the North Korean regime. Ruth, 58, was arrested Sunday afternoon. Authorities said he was armed with an AK-47 style rifle as he stalked the Republican presidential nominee at his West Palm Beach golf course. He has had a prodigious online footprint and was interviewed by multiple news organizations as he tried to recruit foreign fighters from Afghanistan to join the war against Russia and Ukraine. In the event, most of his work in the war-torn country amounted to putting up flags and joining protests. His book sets out his views on the war in rambling prose, describing how he landed in Poland before making his way to the border with Ukraine. He put up his tent and keys at a bit of square to act as a volunteer coordinator, but one day returned to find the police had torn it down. It includes a photograph of him of Chef Jose Andres, who found a World Central Kitchen who delivered thousands of meals to people affected by the war. So yeah, this guy is also, this is him here, sent all the churches to Auschwitz or whatever. I can't even read that very clearly, to be honest with you. Yeah, so this is what's going on here. Now, there's a bit more going to this story, right? All right. So, this is from Colin Rawls. New former assistant FBI director says would-be Trump assassin Ryan Ruth may have an inside information on Trump's schedule. Chris Wecker says there is a scary possibility someone else was involved. The biggest question to answer is how did the would-be assassin know to be at that location at the time? He told Newsweek. There are only 3 possible answers. He guessed and got very lucky. He conducted surveillance on Trump and followed him to the golf course, or he had inside information about Trump's schedule. The last answer is scary and has implications that another person was involved. During an interview with Fox News, Martin County Sheriff Will Snyder said the million-dollar question is how Ruth knew where Trump was going to be. That's insane, guys. That's insane. And there is a good question, too, to ask, how do you know where Trump was going to be? Because, again, it's not like he was at a rally, right? And the rally and location is known to where he was going to be. I'm pretty sure he doesn't tell when he's going to go to his, his golf course or etc. or his house whenever he's going to do stuff like that, because that does not really need to be known to the public, right? Well, How did he know that Trump was going to be at his golf course at this specific time, at this hour, and all that stuff set up? Like, there is a lot of good questions here. So I will let you guys kind of like hear what he has to say about it.
Where is the suspect now? I know he's behind bars, but where?
Well, what we did is we turned him over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. So I don't know where he is right now.
Okay. Did he say any? How did he know that Donald Trump was going to be playing golf? How did he have access to his schedule?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. We are the border county to Palm Beach. You can't get out of their county without coming through ours. But we don't have the intel from the scene there. It's hard for me to imagine how he got within rifle range of President Trump.
Yeah. Where is the suspect now? I know he's behind bars, but where?
So yeah, that is very, very concerning. And could he be a government asset? Could he be something that that was tipped off? Who knows? We don't truly know the full answer here, but these are questions that we should be asking and feel very concerned. Because again, guys, let's just be honest. If people are able to get this information out and be able to receive this information where our presidents or vice presidents, etc., are, that's a huge problem, because that doesn't mean Trump is just in danger. That means every leading official, every president or vice president that we have, Kamala Harris here for this example, is in danger, and this should probably be taken very seriously. Of course, we have this here. This is from Egg Williams saying, Cincinnati.com, Trump brings these assassination attempts on himself. When Donald Trump continues to lie about losing the 2020 election and legal immigrants in Springfield, he brings the crazies out, and one of those crazies tried to shoot him. Yes, so the media is trying to blame Trump for all of this, right? Like, oh, Trump is talking about a serious issue that is happening in Ohio, Springfield, which is happening, by the way. I covered this, and they're saying, oh, it's Trump's fault for saying stuff like this. It's Trump's fault that he's trying to get assassinated. What world are we living in here? What world are we living in? This is completely insane in every regard. How is this Trump's fault? It's like, you can't hate the media enough, man. You just can't hate them enough. Of course, what we have here is from 1984. Okay, am I reading this right? The Trump shooter was caught in 2002 with a weapon of mass destruction and got probation. Somebody make it make sense. So again, what we have here, guys, it won't even blow it up. So I actually had to zoom in here for you guys to see truly what was going on. So again, we have Ryan Wesley Youth, and its offender number inactive, gender male, white race white, ethnic group European to Australian. And we have this here, pretty much saying probation and parole, probation, suspended sentence, Department of CORDIV of prisons. And then, of course, we have initial possessing stolen goods, consolidated for judgment, possession of stolen goods is all felony class H. And then, again, there's another one, that driver license revoked. And then another one of his offenses were carry concealed weapon, mixed motor vehicle violation, another carry concealed weapon, hit and run, driver license revoked, a resisting officer. So this guy has been a known criminal, and again, the biggest one here is possession weapon of mass destruction. What is going on here? Guys, what is going on here? This guy has a rap sheet worse than most of our criminals here. The biggest one here being the weapon of mass destruction. This is insane, by the way. And what we have to clarify here for people that don't understand, a weapon of mass destruction is a nuclear, radiological, chemical, biological, or other device that is intended to harm a large number of people. The Department of Homeland Security works every day to prevent terrorists and other threat actors from using these weapons to harm Americans. So, if he had a weapon of mass destruction, what is going on? Why is this guy not permanently in jail? What is this? Hello? And again, we have this here saying body cam footage of Ryan Wesley's Ruth's arrest has been released. Ruth was reportedly on the golf course for 12 hours leading up to the incident. That's interesting. I don't know why Ruth was able to be on the golf course for 12 hours, but of course that's just me being insane, right? Like, I'm just insane by, him being asking why was he on the golf course for 12 hours when he's trying to assassinate Trump. But maybe the Secret Service is perfect, is all perfect, and they're not failing at their jobs at all. Yeah, like the previous assassination, they didn't fumble that at all. What do I know? Martin County Sheriff Will Snyder suggested on Monday that Ruth could be part of a conspiracy. How does a guy from not here get all the way to Trump International realize that the former president of the United States, is golfing and is able to get a rifle in that vicinity? I think that's the question the FBI, the Secret Service, are laser focused on today. Is this guy part of a conspiracy? Whether he's part of a conspiracy or not, the big question is how was he able to stay on the golf course for 12 hours? That's the question that needs to be asked here. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is this? And then we have this from Kyle Becker going on to say, I've had partners meeting with Ukraine's Ministry of Defense every week and still have not been able to get them to agree to issue one single visa. Ryan Ruth, the suspected attacker on the Trump International Golf Course, was interviewed by multiple news agencies because he was a recruiter for the International Volunteer Center in Ukraine. In the interviews, Ruth says that he was attempting to recruit former U.S. soldiers to volunteer to fight in Ukraine, but the Ukrainian government did not want most of them because they were suspected to be Russian spies. Most of the Ukrainian authorities do not want these soldiers, he said. Ruth is a suspected attacker in investigations into a shooting incident at Trump International Golf Course on Sunday. He was reportedly seized by Secret Service after shots were fired. A backpack, GoPro, and AK-47 were reportedly found and photographed at the scene of the crime. So, yeah, this is insane. So what we can see here, guys, is obviously this is going on, and this is here as well. So this is a rifle and all that stuff that was being found at the scene of the crime, all this stuff. Yeah, that's great. And by the way, just to let you guys know, some of the anti-gun people, it's like, I told you we should have been banned of AK-47. So I told you people are able to have this. Guys, to let you know, you're not allowed to have an AK-47 in this country if it's fully automatic. Let me make that painfully clear for you. You are not allowed to have an AK-47 that is fully automatic in this country. Full stop. It is not possible. Now, you can go and get one that is semi-automatic, but it's fully automatic? Nah, that ain't happening, fam. That ain't happening. And, of course, we found it all true. That Trump's attempted assassin Ryan Ruth's political contributions show 19 contributions exclusively to Democrats and since 2019. That's insane. Look at this. All of these. That ain't looking good. And then Ryan Wesley Ruth's son has his father hates Donald Trump like all reasonable people. Orrin Ruth tells the Daily Mail his father is not a violent person and didn't believe he owned a firearm. This was the first I heard about it. Orrin said his father hates Trump as every reasonable person does, adding, I don't like Trump either. He's my dad and he's all had his couple of traffic tickets as far as I know, which goes back to clarifying of what this has said over here, right? Kind of like what his driver license revoked and stuff like that. So yeah, that goes and confirms that. And goes on to said he said he was at the beach, but I thought that he meant the Outer Banks in Hawaii. He's not a violent person. He's a hard worker and a great dad. He's a great dude, a nice guy, and has worked his whole effing life. I hate this game every 4 years, and I think we all do. And if my father wants to be a martyr to how broken and dissociated the process has become for the real problems and such practical solutions, then that's his choice. I'm not saying that's what he's done or what he's about. That's just my own rant, being fed up with it all for my entire adult life. South Park said it best. Every 4 years, we're forced to choose between a church sandwich and a giant douche, and it all stays effed in the same ways, but different degrees were exalted and embarrassed by it at all. I can kind of agree with this guy in particular, right? I can kind of agree that we never have really the best solutions for the country, right? It's always these, like, rhino Republicans or some horrible Democrat person is not really our choice. And I can agree with him with that there. But his father doesn't seem like a great person. He seems like a bloody psychopath. And, again, from Laura Loomer saying, New York Times profiled the shooter Ryan Ruth, who tried to assassinate President Donald Trump today. Ryan Ruth served in the U.S. Foreign Legion in Ukraine, which is reportedly tied to the CIA. Not only did Newsweek interview Ryan Ruth, attempted Trump Trump assassin 2 years ago, but his choice to fight in Ukraine in 2022, but in 2023. The New York Times also profiled the shooter and his efforts to recruit foreign fighters for Ukraine illegally in Pakistan and Iran by purchasing fake passports for Afghan soldiers in Pakistan. Yeah, your father sounds like a great dude. So the universe knew this guy was doing illegal mercenary work and they never stopped him. Even worse, the anti-Trump leftist media wrote glowing profiles about him and gave him a platform. Ryan Blue's cell phone number traces back to Fight for Ukraine, which is being accused of being a terrorist organization focused on recruiting mercenaries to fight in Ukraine for the sake of killing Russian soldiers. So yeah, this is what we have here with all this information, right? And this isn't great here, right? Fight for Ukraine and all that stuff, and it has this all here. All right. Of course, we have this here from NBC's Lester Holt, just blamed President Trump for the attempt on his life, saying it was due to his rhetoric on the illegal migrant crisis in Springfield. Seriously, who the hell is buying this crap? So, again, let's go here.
Today's apparent assassination attempt comes amid increasingly fierce rhetoric on the campaign trail itself. Mr. Trump, his running mate J.D. Vance continue to make baseless claims about Haitian immigrants in Ohio. This weekend, there were new bomb threats in that town. Our Maggie Vespa is in Columbus, Ohio, with more.
Lester, simply put, Springfield, Ohio has been inundated by threats over the last several days, closing government buildings, schools, hospitals, today effectively closing a local university campus after administrators said someone threatened a mass shooting targeting Haitians. This in light of, officials say, a false online conspiracy theory alleging Haitian immigrants in that city are eating people's pets.
Today's apparent assassination.
I mean, again, we're gonna be saving this here. So I'm going to be saving this here because this is going to be juicy for the next video that I have, because this is actually what's going on. So again, that's what they're doing here. And of course, this person says, I personally confronted the NBC reporter here in Springfield, Ohio, who is now on TV with Lester Holt, blaming President Trump for his own assassination attempt. As she tried to have me arrested, I did to ask Maggie Vespa why she's pushing violent, divisive rhetoric on behalf of the Paris campaign, which leads to leftist clowns attempting to kill Trump. She then ran away and called the cops, with 4 units responding in a police department with incredibly tight resources. So, again, this is what's going on here. I'm not going to show this. I'll show this because the video is already long enough as it is. But this is the insanely part here, right? So, guys, what we gather so far is that this guy was either a Ukraine operative or possibly a government asset. Which is no surprise there. He voted for @Blue, Kamala Harris, and all that great stuff. And then when it comes down to it, as well, he wrote a book on urging to try to kill Trump. So I don't know what else to tell people. Now I know people are going to say like, okay, well he is also the one that that voted for Trump in 2016, I may believe. And like this here, for example, you cannot quit. Why? You must stay on the ballot to the end. You must fight. You must continue giving speeches and push all the way to election day, no matter what the election results. Do not give in. Join Nikki and keep working. Never give up. This again. This is what he's trying to say, like alluding to, like saying Vivek Ramaswamy. But again, he wants to join Nikki and join Nikki Haley. Which Nikki Haley is which again is alluding to, by the way, she is a rhino Republican, and she wants to be at war with Ukraine or whatever because she's a warmonger. So this really does not help Carlos at all. It actually hurts him. Kamala, you and Biden should visit the injured people in the hospital from the Trump rally and attend the funeral of the murdered firemen. Trump will never do anything for them, show the world what compassion and humanity is all about. And of course, they never did. And again, he's telling Vivek Ramaswamy he cannot quit because, you know, they'll give him join Nikki Haley and keep working, and he didn't vote for Trump. He did not vote for Trump. This is not endorsement of Nikki of him going for Trump at all. So I don't know what they're doing here. But this is the insanity part, right? This is how the left plays. They're trying to lie and do all this other stuff, and they're all bloody idiots. So that's what we have here, right? So, guys, that's also all the information that I have as of right now. If more information comes out, I will be reposting it. But, yeah, not too much to say. Sorry for the long video, but to go over all this information over the past day, yeah, it has to be, it takes a bit of time. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friend.
I'm disgusted. by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, 'cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.